Collective, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist, and we're going to do your New Year's love check-in. Let's see what's going on. How was everybody's New Year's Eve, New Year's celebrations? February, I'll be 6 years sober, but I feel kind of hungover today. Inherited energy, perhaps. Could be the bag of hot chips and cookies that I had just before bed. I was out at 10 p.m. So, but anyway, kind of doing my own thing. Something about red eyes. Pink eye? Hopefully nobody's got that going on. But maybe you got high. Because that reminds me of a... what is it? Is it Knocked Up? I don't know. Maybe somebody... maybe somebody's has a New Year's conception or something. Or maybe somebody had a baby. Right? On the New Year. Isn't that the movie New Year's where they win like a prize or something? The movie with all the stories going on at the same time. I love New Year's or New Year's Eve or something. Anyway. And they're the people who are trying to like compete for the $20,000 or something like that. Anyway. But either way, congratulations if that's the case. I was thinking of the movie Knocked Up where everyone has pink eye, and then he goes, "Oh man, you must have got it real bad." And he's like, "No, I'm just high." But he's always doing his own thing. He's kind of a strange person. And we had the Hangman popping out here, Pisces energy. That's the individual, the one who's just kind of always doing a thing, and people are like, "What are they doing over there?" But they know what they're doing. There's a method to the madness. There's a method to your madness. How that relates to love, I don't know. We'll see. We got the Emperor and the Four of Swords. Nah. Ooh, Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Come on. Maybe that's how it relates to the masculine is kind of doing their own thing. Because the Emperor doesn't really budge easily. They know their worth, and they're only going to pursue an Empress, right? And the feminine's representing with the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords. This is someone who's... They don't see something coming. In both of those, they're blindfolded. So we've got a feminine over here. It's kind of reevaluating 3:11 on the clock. That's reevaluating their dreams. They're reevaluating their wishes. Maybe for the new year. Or maybe somebody just had a birthday. Right? Which is like a new year for the individual that's having a birthday. But it's like this cycle, you're thinking, well, I haven't seen whatever I'm doing is not attracting my masculine. We got the Eight of Swords on this deck as well. So there could be a feminine that's questioning their intuition. They're like, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. And that's what a Pisces or someone acting out of Pisces energy of the Hanged Man will kind of force us to do. We have the Devil. White Buffalo. White Buffalo is like the one that got away. So somebody could be feeling like there's a missed opportunity here. But let's check this masculine. Because that's where the clarity is going to come from, is the masculine. 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups, King of Wands. This could be someone who gets a lot of attention. Maybe has quite a few options. Maybe coming out of player energy with the 10 of Wands. It's a lot of phallic shapes. And we've got all these ladies dancing around here. Right? With their cups. So... But the King of Wands is looking at the feminine deck here. The King of Wands is saying, that's all behind me. This could be a fear of the feminine. Oh, he's just out there. You know, those memes where it's like, oh, he's probably thinking about other women. And he's like you know, how many, this is a question that I always ask, like, how many arrows can Legolas carry, you know? Like, this person, you know, could be a Lord of the Rings fan. Holla. And that Three of Swords, again, this feminine is very disappointed. They're dealing with a lot of strife, is the word. 10 of Cups in reverse, yeah, and the Sun is behind it. There's clarity behind this sadness. You think all your cups have spilled and that all hope is lost, I think. That's what I'm feeling here on the feminine side. You know, maybe you were expecting to see somebody. Knight of Wands, maybe you were expecting to see someone. Could be dealing with a masculine fire sign, because we got a lot of fire on the masculine end. Ace of Cups with this King of Wands. I do think that this is a fear the feminine has. I don't think this masculine's giving energy to these other things. I think they're just doing their own thing. They're focused on their money, their stability. They're an emperor, and so they know, even though there is a lot of sexual chemistry here, there's a lot of physical attraction here, the feminine's worried with these wands, with how much passion there is, that this is not something that's going to be emotionally fulfilling. There's too much fire for water to take place here. And yet, with the King of Wands, we have this, if I can grab it, this Ace of Cups, which tells me this is a masculine who sees this feminine as being very precious, too. You know, with the moon on her shoulder there, that's like she wears her heart on her sleeve. Maybe something with red lipstick, but we have the moon here. You could have strong water, Cancerian placements, maybe Pisces with the Pisces energy here. Maybe your Venus is in Pisces or something. The way that you love is being triggered. How you receive love. Three of Pentacles. It's okay, so it's like there's a fear, or maybe the masculine did entertain, you know, casual connections or multiple connections, but that's in the past, right? And the Three of Cups actually represents a celebration. So with this celebration, this could be New Year's Eve, you know, you're out partying. Maybe you thought this masculine feminines was going to just kind of charge in here with all this passion. But there's something about the blood. Because we have the Flea here. Blood red. My heart bleeds red. Mockery, 10 of Wands again. It feels like maybe this masculine is Thunderbird, 9. That gives me like, it's the 9 of Pentacles, which is independent energy. Yeah, I think this masculine's just working on something. They're working on their stability in their life. They know that they can't approach a divine feminine unless they've got their stuff together. Strength. Yeah, even though she's with a female lion here, the Ghost and the Darkness, maybe the names or the letters V, K, and then M, D. I don't know what Michael Douglas is. Val Kilmer was a Capricorn. Strength is Leo with the 8 here, but with this lion, it looks like a feminine lion, or a female lion, a feminine lion. Could be a female Leo involved here, or so a feminine could have strong Leo placements. But in the movie Ghost in the Darkness, they are maneless male lions. In the movie, they have manes and they look like that, but in the museum where they are and in real life, these two lions, which was unusual for male lions to hunt together, and they were man-eaters. They got the taste of man flesh, and so that's all they wanted. And I don't know, maybe there's something in the numbers, but there's a bridge. It's like in the movie they're determined to make this bridge to connect these two places. So there could be distance involved with the Thunderbird, I do get like the Chariot. There's something about maybe somebody's buying a vehicle, you know, like they kind of have to, I don't know, Thunderbird, it just feels like you're going to be driving, you know, they're driving across this desert here, these cactus flowers and the shields. It's like there's it's between like two snow-capped mountains, so it's like maybe somebody has to come through a mountain pass. Even here, the river is running through this mountain. A river runs through it. Brad Pitt, Sagittarius, I believe. Counting Coup, is that? Oh, that's 7 of Wands. Vision Quest. That reminds me of Grace and Frankie, where she goes out on her vision. She's like, I'm going on a vision quest. You know, if you haven't seen Grace and Frankie, it's sad and it's heartbreaking and bittersweet and funny, and but their chemistry, as you know, actually all the main characters have a lot of good chemistry, but Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda have really great chemistry, and you know, they've worked together on several projects, and anyway, they're best friends, and but in this, you know, they're like forced into working together. Maybe you work together. What are they? 9 to 5. We got 9, 7, 8 here. 7, 8, 9. Why was 6 afraid of 7? And 6 is the number of love. 6 is afraid of 7 because 7, 8, 9. There's something very powerful, maybe intimidating about this connection. But in that, you know, Jane Fonda, she doesn't know because Lily Tomlin's character is all hippy-dippy, and Jane Fonda is very straight-laced, you know, square, you know, cardigans and everything like that. Could be same-sex involved here because the husbands leave them for each other after 40 years of marriage, and they've been deceiving them for 20 years. So maybe there's a lot of deception in the past of these individuals. So there's going to be some caution, extra caution moving forward. You know, just making sure all the boxes are checked, bases are covered, that kind of thing. Maybe something with baseball. But she goes, when Frankie gets back from her vision test, you know, because she's just thinking like probably very doctor. So one of you could, you know, you could just be quite different, like from different worlds. One of you could be very traditional or conventional, and then the other could be quite different with that fire and water aspect. You could have a lot of water in your chart, and your person could have a lot of fire in their chart, or vice versa. And so there's a different way of doing it. I mean, just masculine and feminine energy is seemingly opposing, but it couples well together. But it's, you know, it baffles me that men and women, you know, traditionally speaking, are like, why are we supposed to be together and procreate together? It doesn't make any sense. We're so different, you know. It's like, yeah, it's like the memes. I'm just getting a lot of memes right now, and I'm kind of getting like snapshots, you know, your life in images, like, and somebody could have had like a near-death experience, like your whole life could have flashed before your eyes, or maybe you're just kind of reviewing. You could be getting memories, you know, on your phone or social media where you're like, 2025 in images or whatever, you know. So there's some sort of like Polaroids or like a slideshow, PowerPoint. There's like a slideshow, or what the heck is that called? The projector. Freaking A. There's like a projector's screen where you're like looking at going down memory lane with the vision test here. There's some sort of review, ghosts of Christmas past, and all of that. It's like, but the vision test is the 7 of vessels. So it's the 7 of cups here. And with the 7 of cups, yeah, with this 3 of cups, and I was getting that fear of the feminine, fear from the feminine that this masculine has got other options, they're entertaining other options. But the Seven of Cups is, yes, you have a lot of options and you have a lot of opportunities, but this is someone who's very selective. They're just looking, they're just observing, and they're seeing how all these options really align with their path. Maybe there's a fear that the masculine has not let go of their past. Oh, well, we've got union here. So, Two of Cups. They don't care how many options they have. Of course they have a lot of options. You do as well, feminine. Don't forget, you're an empress. If you're a divine feminine here, then you are empress, right? So don't be intimidated by an emperor, right? But I think maybe the emperor was intimidated by the empress first, because it kind of put them into evaluating their passions, their purpose with the King of Wands. The Warrior of Blades. Here he comes. Here he comes. That reminds me of a man from Snowy River. The Hermit, Virgo energy, Trail of Tears, and the Sand Painter. Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. This is solid offers coming in. It's written in sand. Oh, also these... It's funny, my 8-point star necklace, which is very strong and sturdy and has been through some tugs and some drops and some flings and all that, just broke the other day cutting open some tofu because my knife broke. There's a lot of things, whatever. That's my story. But these kind of look like that, the pendant on there, and they are 2, 4, 6, 8. They are 8-point stars, and it's the number 8. So something with the 8-point star, the number 8 infinity symbol. Somebody could have like an infinity symbol tattoo somewhere on their body. Or you'd be a life path 8, right? Be born in August or something around, maybe you met in August. But the Sand Painter is somebody like, this is an artist. This is somebody who uses the natural gifts and elements around them, which also gives me the Magician, which is Virgo, Gemini, and Taurus. Let's pull from another one. Kind of in a weird space right now. There's been a lot of strange and interesting things going on in my life. I tell you guys every time, I'm going through this right along with you. So these messages for all of us. Ace of Pentacles again. Page of Wands. Four of Pentacles in the Tower. Scorpio, Aries. I always get like a pre-emperor. Yeah, I think this feminine kind of tested this person who maybe thought they were more of an emperor than they were. And maybe they were in pre-emperor. This is also Virgo energy with the Four of Pentacles. It's the one who analyzes. This is somebody who's doing an inventory of their what they value. So maybe they were entertaining lower vibrational people, behaviors, places, thoughts. And this feminine kind of tamed them. Because it's like they're looking, the masculine here. I'm going to count this lion as the masculine here because I'm getting that, the maneless lions. And why do they, I forget why they don't have manes. There's a reason that they don't have them. I know that the females, they did a study, and female lions prefer males with darker manes, but the ones with darker manes have a lower sperm count because their mane is darker, and so they're like getting cooked from the sun. So so there could be an age difference here with this masculine, and they could just be younger and their mane hasn't grown in yet, right? But I think spiritually that just means that they are younger of the two. This is a feminine who is like guiding this masculine. See, they're looking over their shoulder, right? And you're activating these same qualities. So you may share similar placements, but you're kind of activating the other's maybe moon sign, Venus sign, right? 8th house. But you both are kind of holding strong here. There's a stoicism to both of you. So I don't think anyone even around you probably knows Ace of Cups, Queen of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. You both want to collaborate. We've got the Three of Pentacles twice, so both of you want to work together. And I'm seeing these black stones. Get the stones. Gary Oldman, Fifth Element. Fifth Element. Okay, that's way too much. Whoa, that's way too much. Maybe this... Okay, so the stoicism. Maybe it's somebody who's going to... It's like in the movies where there's always that silent person and no one expects them to talk, and then they finally come out and they're like... They say the right thing, or it always surprises everybody. People who have never seen movies before. Nine of Wands. That's the wounded warrior. That's the one who's been on a long journey. They're tired. Yeah, it's kind of like... I'm thinking of Cloud Atlas, which I love that movie. The Sextet. Which is 6, the number 6. And 6 is the number of love, and then sextet. So yeah, there is a lot of chemistry here, and I think both of you just want to make sure that it's not going to just be that. But as alchemists, you both understand that sexual energy, tantric energy, is where we harness our creative powers from, right? Creation comes from the sacral chakra, Scorpio. But in that, there's a guy who's like, I know, everything is, I know. That's all he says the whole movie. And then there's a scene where his friends are in trouble. He's like, will you help help me and my friends, or whatever, and he like stands up. It's like he finally stands up. So maybe there's a masculine who's kind of surrounded by people. Maybe they've just been kind of going through the motions. Yes, they're very powerful and all that, but when you are powerful and when you are, maybe people only go to this masculine for money or status or to take from them, and this masculine has just kind of been very tolerant. There's a tolerance to them that's a little bit more, I think this feminine kind of sparked something in them, gave them a little bit of like, and her name is, I don't remember her name actually, in Cloud Atlas, because all I can think of her is in Sense 8, the number 8 again, and the senses. That's Taurus energy. They are the most sensual of the zodiac, the 5 senses, but they, which is also gives the Hierophant, right? The spiritual guide, and her name in that is Sunbach. So something about the sun, right? The 8-point sun, Leo energy. I think you and your person have some strong Leo placements that are being tamed and activated, right? Because it's like when you are taming is not. We have the Empress and the Hermit here, Taurus, Libra, and Virgo energy. When you're in a disruptive place, right? It's like a circus. Like you can tame. That's not a tame lion, right? That's a abused lion. So it seems like they're tamed, and I think this is probably what you have dealt with in relationships, and with people around you, they've always wanted to, like, they see your magnificence, they see your beauty, they see how majestic and all of that you are, and they want to, like hunters, instead of taking a picture of these beautiful animals and hanging that on their wall, they cut their fucking heads off and put them up there. Anyway, so it's like people have always tried to take from both of you to be something that you're not. This is truly, this is like a sanctuary, a lion sanctuary, right? Where they can go and they can actually relax because they're safe and protected. They've got healthcare. They've got, healthcare. Maybe that's something. I don't know. Maybe you've had issues with health and that's been a struggle for you. But they're taken care of. They're not going to be subjected to the risks. Animals, and I do not condone captivity in the sense of a zoo, but a reserve or a sanctuary. It's like these animals can come there and they can be truly free from hunters, free from poachers, free from, sickness and things like that, free from starvation because their lands are being stripped, right? There's quite an awareness of the environment. Oh, we have two up here. The Empress and the King of Swords. The Empress is in reverse here. These were stuck to the deck from the masculine side. So yeah, there's kind of like a silent, stoic masculine here who's not saying something. The feminine's ready. Arms wide open. With arms wide open. Creed. Something about a creed. Family creed, or a creed is like a mantra. It's something that you speak out. It's a profound statement of who you are, where you come from, where you're going, right? And this masculine this feminine's waiting for that. So we've got the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. In both of these, the feminine is ready and arms wide open, even with her swords, even with her ninja swords, right? Kill Bill. Maybe somebody's name is Bill. Somebody's name is Kill. Somebody's name is Bill. But Kill, with Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, like there's Fili and Kili. So maybe somebody's name has like Kili or something like that in there. But yes, this is like true taming, because to truly tame something wild, you gotta offer protection, right? Trust has to be built. It has to know that you're not out to harm it, and I feel like there's something kind of wild and something that's never been tamed before. Here, let's pull from this other Rider Waite deck. Three of Wands and the Queen of Swords. The Empress popping out here. Yeah, I think that this feminine kind of tilted. Christine and the Queens. Christine and the Queens. The song Tilted. I'm actually good, can't help it if we're tilted. Yeah, there's something about you guys that's a little bit wild, a little bit free, but you're gonna be able to be your freest version of yourself. This person brings out the best in you. They bring out the freest, wildest version of you, which I think is going to be unexpected, maybe to you, or maybe to the people around you. We have a masculine coming in with the Six of Swords there. The Moon, more Cancerian, Pisces, Scorpio energy, and the Star, and Temperance. So we got Sagittarius, Aquarius, Cancer. Major Arcana and the Devil. Yeah, there's something Six of Pentacles. There's something about your pasts that maybe you both struggled with feeling deserving of love. You only dealt with people who wanted to take from you, who wanted to tame you. But this person wants you to run wild. You both want each other to run wild. And we are, I was going to say we're approaching, but we're in it. The year of the horse, right? It's like you're going to be able to run free. The name Adam, maybe. And then Driver, Adam Driver. So there's somebody. Adam is, the original emperor, right? According to the Bible. Eve. So maybe something about in the evening, right? New Year's Eve. So, could be any old Eve, but I get that there's kind of somebody's traveling through the night or coming to you at night or messaging you at night, contacting you at night, in the eve. Adam is coming to their eve. It's like you're part of them. I always say that the twin flames, you create each other for each other, and then you come into union for the collective. But you designed this person because we created ourselves, right? Right? I'll try not to dip too much into that well. But when we chose to incarnate, we, unbeknownst to ourselves even, created ourselves, right? And we said, yep, I'm going to come in like that. We don't say, oh, I'm going to look like this. These are, you choose the outcome, and the path is what you have to trust to get to the outcome. You order the meal. You have no control over who's making it in the back, or, if they're if they wash their hands or any of that. That's where I think something with the restaurant business, maybe. But it's like you created yourself, and you and your person, you and your twin flame are from the same frequency, right? You're from the same star, with the star here. You might share heavy water placements. Your moon signs could both be water, with the moon here and all this. That Three of Swords, though, that one hits really heavy for some reason, because there's a disappointment here, and it's like the Emperor peeked out, and then he was like, nah, came out as the King of Wands. Then the Empress is coming out, but she's also coming out in the reverse. So it's like you both knocked each other, you knocked the wind out of each other. From different worlds. That reminds me of Ever After. Also, the name Eve is in there, Ever After. EA, rated for everyone, or whatever. EA Sports, rated for everyone. This is not for everyone. But in Ever After, they're from completely different worlds, but they are meant to be together. And you sort of knock each other out of orbit. You knock the wind out of each other. Because the reason I'm thinking Ever After is I'm thinking of the scene where he's about to marry the Princess of Spain or whatever, and maybe somebody's Spanish here, and she's all ooh, 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 and he starts laughing, and he's like, go to your love, that's confirmation for somebody. Go to your love. Masculines, if you're listening, go to your love. Affirmations, especially those using I am, are a potent form of spoken prayer. I am affirmations use the name of God I am to access spiritual power. We are made in the image of God. We are creators ourselves, right? So I am comes from I am that I am, right? So it's making statements. It's making realities from spells, right? That's why they call it spelling. Words are spells. Every time you say anything, you are casting a spell. All right, so there's something about checking your words, making sure that you are still casting out spells of the reality that you chose, right? Because if you're saying anything, like if the reality that you incarnated for was to be in a divine union and a master manifester and help the collective and create a sanctuary for whomever, whatever, and you're saying, oh, I'm broken, I'm unlovable, I'm this, I'm that, and those are the realities that those are lies, because they are not part of the path. They are not part of the reality that you incarnated to create, to align with. I am that I am the God. The name, I just got very, very tired all of a sudden. I mean, I was already tired, but I'm tireder. The name God revealed to Moses when he said, "That is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations." The burning bush also. And Val Kilmer's in that as well. He plays Moses. Hush now, my baby, be still, love, don't cry. Sleep as you're rocked by the stream. Walked by the stream? Maybe you too will walk by some sort of body of water, a stream or something. But there's like a comfort here, because it's like, sleep now, my baby. I mean, maybe this person calls you baby or will call you baby, but they see you as being with that Ace of Cups. The masculine sees the feminine as being quite precious. And see the way that this feminine's like holding their cup? That's how the feminine holds their heart. They carry it on their sleeve. They can't hide it. Their wings are made of steel and iron, though. Like, look at them. They've created these wings. So there's like a heaviness in the past of the feminine, that they have created a world with this Piscean energy as well, right? With the seahorses here. Then they've created these wings, and that also reminds me of Ever After, where she said, "A bird may love a fish, Senor, but where will they live? Then I shall have to make you wings," right? So you could be like water and air. You could be, you're masculine and feminine. You're from different worlds. You are, Mars and Venus, right? Aries and Taurus are the two most distinctly masculine and feminine, represented by the Emperor and the Empress, right? Mars and Venus. And they also share those with Scorpio and Libra. You could be a cusper or something. Oh gosh, straightened my leg out and it hurt. Where'd my other book go? Oh, it didn't go anywhere. It's right in my lap. Maybe the name Max or Luke. Maybe something about September, because that's all that came up is September. We'll go one more. September 1st. A word of hope. The Lord's love never ends. His mercies never stop. They are new every morning. Lord, your loyalty is great. I say to myself, the Lord is mine, so I hope in him. Lamentations 3:22 through 24. What do you need most today? Do you need just a word of hope? That's what we all need, and that's what the Word of God does, that nothing and no one else can. Okay, so there's something about the words. I don't want to get too much into that because I don't preach from the Bible. I don't believe in that. Because I don't, there is, the truth is, and bird is the word. So birds are a symbol here. Birds and fish are a symbol here. Flying fish. There's something about the merging of two completely polar signs, possibly, or polar ideas, polar worlds. You could be from opposite ends of the world, right? But the world is round, so you're really, it's like you're closer than you think. when you fold it back on itself, I don't know, maybe one of you thinks the world is flat, one of you thinks it's, I don't know, an octagon. I don't know what the number 8. It doesn't matter though, because those things, maybe one of you preaches from the Bible and one of you doesn't, you could come from completely different cultures, religious backgrounds, but you're talking about the same thing. The word is the truth. The word is the one and only truth. And there is a objective truth that is spoken through all religions, all cultures. They're all talking about the same thing if you just ignore the nomenclature. And then there is subjective truths, right? Where people just agree to disagree, because it's not anything that's going to your differences in this connection are not going to break either one of you. They're not going to be deal breakers, and maybe that you think that there are deal breakers to begin with, and then you discover that you're actually more alike than ever, that she's your match. Maybe the name Henry. She's your match. There could be somebody around the masculine that's like a mentor, that is, could be an ancestor, could be a loved one. And if the masculine is somebody who refers to the Bible, maybe they are praying. You may have different forms of practicing your magic, of what you consider to be your spiritual practices, but you're really doing the same thing. You're talking about the same thing. You believe the same thing. And whatever differences you have actually were the things somehow. I feel like whatever makes you so different is actually going to bring you together. Because I was just thinking about that as a veteran, talking with other veterans. It's interesting, it's when I was enlisted, we were of the 1%, but it's such a small world. It's like once you are in it, there are veterans everywhere, being on the road. So many people are from my hometown. I have met so many people. So there's something very at your core where you're very much the same. You come literally from the same place, the same star, the same frequency. And yet it seems wild that you would ever meet, but it's something about how different you are is why you met. I'm not sure how that applies. You can let everybody know if that makes sense to you. But it seems like the most serendipitous, strange thing. Like, what are the chances we would meet way over here? But it's like, but people from the same places, they get put on that path. And, I was just laughing about, when in training, my stomach is out of control today. In training, we would go out after graduation or whatever, everybody went out, and so we put on our civilian clothes, and we were all wearing the same uniform, different sizes, right? I say that all the time, we're all made of the same ingredients, different recipes, but we were all wearing the same uniform. We were marching together, we were, in sync cadences, we were just very, very structured, very, very cookie cutter, right? But then you would see people, and there would be, all the males had to shave their face, and like everybody was the same. But then when you saw everybody in their civilian clothes, it's like the drill sergeant was like gothic, and then this person over here is a cowboy, and this one over here is, a punk rock chick, and then this one's over here, screaming and everything in the military section of their life, but then they're over here in a cardigan, going out to the bar with everybody else, so it's everybody was so different, but then they came together in that purpose They were drawn to the same purpose. You and this person are drawn to the same purpose. So even though you are completely different, you could be polarity signs, right? Male, female, you could be, different cultures, age gap, right? There's so many different things, but it's like those differences are actually what made you come together and realize that you are, I don't want to say exactly the same, but where it counts, you're the same. And then the other stuff, the differences are what makes and keeps this connection interesting and fun, and you're always learning new things. It's like you're going to learn new things about your partner, and they're not going to be scary things. It's not going to be like, oh, I didn't know that. It's going to be like, I didn't know that. That just enriches the connection more. That makes me love you more. That makes you more fascinating. And you came from that, and you may hear some really dark stuff from this person and go, oh, but you're so light and pure now. I would have never guessed that, But everything that you hear and discover about this person helps you discover new things about yourself. And it's like, because you were worthy of this person. I don't think you've ever felt worthy of love until this person, because everybody else wanted something from you. There was an agenda there. There was some sort of ulterior motive. They were taking. There was abuse, verbal, physical, emotional. There's some sort of manipulative energy around you. And all that karmic energy really kind of knocked you off of your path for a while. And maybe every time it's like you get knocked off and you're like, oh, wait, let me get back on track here. I do believe in spooks, the Cowardly Lion. I do believe in spooks. It's like, I do believe in my ancestors. I do believe in those, my spirit team, that they're going to get me through this terrifying, thick of the woods that I've been going through with all these thorns and flying monkeys. So a lot of narcissistic experiences here. I feel like you've dealt with a lot of narcissists, and we talk about that all the time. Children of chaos, typically. And I just looked at this thing that says, warning, keep away from children. It's my bowls, but it's the bag, because there's like a suffocation thing. So there's some sort of, with that vision quest, I also get that, it's like you both freed yourself from a cage. You felt like you were in a cage, and that could be a relationship, a job, a family dynamic, just a state or part of the world that you're living in, right? Your literal environment. And you sort of freed yourself from that because you were suffocating. And it says it's not a toy. That plastic bag is not a toy. And I think people misused you, and they played you like a toy. They tried to play you like a toy. Maybe they did for a long time, but then they hit a point where it's like you realized your damn power, and then they tried you, and that was the final try. And you said, okay, I'm done. So that gets into a lot of heavy self-work and shadow work that needs to be honored here with the collective that's watching this. You're worthy of this love. I am worthy of this love. I am worthy of great love. I am worthy of divine love. I am worthy of agape love. However you want to say it. There's an affirmation that is going to be, I think, the key to kind of bringing this person back to you, because I think that there's a separation here. The separation feels like anguish. I want to pull one more. I mean, we're already here, so we're already at 48 minutes, so let's just go for it. What do we want to pull from? Not this one. We'll pull from this. Charged chilies provides much needed jolt. Keep away from water during use. There's something about warnings. A warning, keep away from children. Keep away from water during use. And that feels like the fire and the water. There's some sort of warning here. You're too different. Somebody could be trying to say that, crop. I look at that and I think crock of shit. 2221 charged chilies. The letter C. The alliteration. Somebody could have like an alliteration in their name. Right? Multiple of the same letters or the same sounds. Cautious KO. There's some sort of caution. Yeah, this feels sort of hyperversion to the unknown. Side effect. No friends. Longevity. Both are crops. Now, crops have to be planted, and they're unpredictable, and they have to be watered. You're both kind of terrified of love, I think, because we have 6 in reverse or 9, right? It's 6 in reverse because it's harvest. It's time to harvest this. Somebody was worried about maybe the name Mark, but money is in reverse. 3 seeds. Like somebody was trying to get their wild seed. I'm telling you, you guys are wild. There's something very wild and free about you. Maybe people around you never expected one of you or both of you, either of you, to ever settle down. I get it more on the masculine side. Play this card as a seed of any type. This card does not earn points. Now, the wild seed there and the earning points, that also feels like that reference to feeling like you're in a cage. Like, you don't earn points because nobody's keeping score here, right? This isn't a tit for tat. This isn't some sort of transactional dynamic. Oh, Lord, what is going on here? Anyway, dynamite dandelions. Each flower is filled with explosive power. Something about poetry, rhyming. I got the rhythm, got the rhyme. Music is very important here. I feel like that somebody is maybe a man of few words. I'm getting that, a man of few words. But they're all the right ones. And there's so much passion and power in this connection. I feel for both of you right now that there's, I think the feminine is really under attack because I'm picking up on that quite a bit. And the masculine is going to kind of hear about it. They might hear about it from a friend, right? Or something. And maybe they're away. There's this physical separation and distance possibly because this masculine had to do something. It's not that they're choosing another person over this feminine. They chose their growth because they know that they have to be stable. They have to be able to provide this, right? It's like they were going and getting the sanctuary set up so they could bring this wild sort of feminine into their space. So that could be, the wildness. I feel like this masculine really views this, I don't know, it's 'cause I feel like you both view each other as like these beautiful wild creatures. And maybe you see that reflected in your person, but if you're able to see that in your person, then that's something. 5333 on the clock there. That is something that you have in yourself, right? If you're able to mirror that back, then if they're seeing that in themselves through you or from you as their mirror, then that means you have that, right? Because you can't refract what isn't there. You can't reflect what isn't there. So there's a very heavy process of elimination, I feel that's going on, that's taking place. And that's why I thought you would be there. I thought he would be here. I thought he would come. I feel like a child says that in a movie. It is. Sleepless in Seattle. I thought she would be here, actually. I heard it as I thought he would be here, but in the movie he says, I thought she would be here at the tower. The top of the Empire State Building. Empire. Right? I thought she would be here. I thought she would come. There could be a child involved here, but yes, he's like, oh, all these states across here, that's how far away Baltimore is from Seattle. Like, there's your sign or whatever. But it's like the child believes in it. A child could bring you two together. And maybe you will have a child with this person, and your angel is like bringing you together, right? So that they can incarnate. They're like, would you guys get your stuff together so I can like come into existence and do the work that needs to be done? Because I feel like if you do have a child with this person, it's going to be a very important human being to the collective. And they're going to do some very important work. They're going to carry on. That's your legacy. If you create a business or some sort of space for healing, that's going to be the thing. But it's like that calling, that divine creation, the divine masculine, divine feminine, divine creation. That's the Holy Trinity. The divine creation of whatever your purpose in this life is together is like rooting for you. It's bringing you two together. It's kind of like you want things to be done on divine timing, but it's also like, okay, steps need to be taken. Let's get this going, So there's a little bit of like a charged energy here, like electric lightning. The movie Powder. Yeah, I'm just getting like a very innocent, maybe very fair-skinned person, but I'm getting like it's like, and it's not just a person, it's like, it's an energy and an entity, and it feels like you two together is a very gentle, it's like the lion is gentle as a lamb. So, wow, I don't know, there was a lot in there. I hope there was something in here for you. 56:56 on the clock there, so I think that's a good note to leave that on. Because there's a lot of channeling coming in, and I'll just save that for next time. Yes, comment below with your sign if you want me to do the sign by sign readings. I think I'm going to just start picking like a card or two for each sign and uploading them onto Instagram. I might upload them over here as shorts. I don't know, the shorts, I was having trouble with those because it was like when I went to upload them, my face is like up here and you can't see the card, so I think I might have to do those. I have to record them, unless somebody knows how to zoom out, or I don't know, but it's when you try to upload a video as a short, it gets really close and it gets all blurry and weird. So I don't know if it's just better if I record them in YouTube, like as the anyway, I don't know. But that's the kind of stuff that I'm gonna deal with to figure out. So thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody's ongoing support and energy. I appreciate it. And until next time, I wish you well.